In this video today, guys, I'm going to pinpoint one specific thing that I see a lot when it comes to manifesting specific persons or exes that can hold you back or hold somebody back from really manifesting and honing in on manifesting that specific person and ex back into their life. But before we get into this video, welcome guys. If you're new, my name is of course Bianca. This is Conscious Creation, and on my channel with me over here we talk law of assumption, law of attraction, as well as spiritual laws. All of my coaching packages, including one-on-one sessions and the email DM coaching, are below in the description. Two things: anybody who writes an awesome comment, and that is subject to me deciding what is awesome, will get a free copy of my self-concept course. So make sure to leave a comment in the description below if you've been successful in your manifestations, or you just have a little story about manifesting that you want to share. That person that, you know, has the best has the best comment will win my self-concept course for free as well. So make sure you do that one. If you're not already subscribing to my channel, I would love if you did that. So we have to understand that when we are manifesting our exes, moreover than a specific person, but let's just say for the purpose of this video, both categories, is that a lot of us have a history about how relationships have played out, or how they, let's say future, how they should play out, right? So these future ideas or ideals, as well as these past experiences, are actually nothing more than stories that we tell ourselves in our mind, because we have to understand that consciousness or awareness is the only true reality. And you only need to read Vadim Zeland, you only need to read Neville Goddard, you only need to read, Florence doesn't talk about it too much, but Joseph Murphy talks about this as well. You only need to study quantum physics. And, you know, as a yoga teacher for over 13 years now, this is something that I've experienced in my own life. And I always try to bring myself back to this as well when I'm manifesting my life. So when we talk about the history with our ex, right, there are probably circumstances or situations or things that happen in your relationship that you keep replaying over in your mind. And again, this is not a blame game, but I want you guys to truly understand that firstly, these patterns for a successful manifestation don't really help us. In fact, to manifest instantly and to manifest your ex back, you need to kind of dissolve them and push them to the side, because they are just stories that you are telling yourself. They do not exist. The past does not exist. And what I see a lot of us, and I know this to be true for myself, is we want to validate our feelings. We want to validate what happened in the past. We want to validate, you know, that maybe they did something to us that we didn't approve of, or maybe she cheated with somebody else, or they left us for somebody, or we had an argument that led to this relationship breakup dynamic. Now, there are a couple of ways to work through this, and Neville Goddard talks about revision. And personally, as a manifestation coach and as a manifestor, I don't personally use revision, but revision is something that you can go back to a situation or a scenario and switch up what actually happened, which in itself actually also includes forgiveness for a situation. Because when we manifest, we want to work through the bigger self. We want to work through this spiritual self, the conscious self, the aware self, which you think of this as like your potential, your intuitive God state, your goddess state, right? And that doesn't include the smaller self, which is the ego, which tries to hold you back. And when we go back to these situations and we try to condemn the other person, we are constantly staying in a reality which isn't the now and which isn't the awareness and the present moment. So you can do revision. You can also forgive your specific person. You can also forgive the situation and the circumstance. And this is something that really helps my clients and has really helped me in my personal life to, you know, manifest the dream life that I have right here, right now. You want to, if a certain image or a certain thought comes up, just gently start to direct it to a different, more positive or stable thought. Now, I often recommend, if you start to become very anxious around something that has happened in your history or in your past, to come back to breath work. You know, you may want to do a session of box breathing, you may want to do a quick visualization, you may just want to do a quick 5-minute Vipassana sit, which is where you just sit in pure silence and just allow those thoughts to come up. You can label them, but you want to observe them and not get involved in the stories, again, which revolve around something that doesn't exist, which is your past. Okay? The last thing I want to suggest to bring this video home is when you are having these thoughts that aren't serving your manifestation, remembering to always come back to awareness and present moment, is if you do have thoughts that, you know, they did wrong, that you maybe were the one to blame for this, that I'm worried that they're not going to come back into my life, that I'm doing all this work and nothing is showing up in my 3D reality, so on and so forth, all of those perpetuating thoughts, is reframe them. And I know we hear this time over and time over again. And this is only for somebody who is able to really sit in a neutral state and actually be able to look and observe and say, these thoughts don't serve me. I've had actually people tell me, some of my clients get like, they actually tell their thoughts to shut up. They're like, shut up, this doesn't serve me, you're useless. You know, I had a client of mine once, he did like whatcha to cut those thoughts, right? And you can just gently, as Joe Dispenza calls it, redirect the thoughts. So you could say, actually, you know what, I showed up for the best that I could in this moment, my SP did the same, and we are good together. If you have the thought of, I'm worried that they're never going to manifest. No, I know that manifestation works, and I know that this is going to work out because this is what I believe to be true for myself. They are moving towards me. We are meant to be together. I am claiming this manifestation right now. My only job as a manifester is to truly believe, trust, and know that this is a done deal. So if you're able to sit in that neutral state and you're able to direct your thoughts and affirm in that way, then I would absolutely recommend that as well. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I see when we are manifesting, is that we are just so stuck in the history, aka the perceived history, which doesn't actually exist. So we have to come back. As manifestors, our sole job is to come back and affirm, use techniques, visualize, be in the state of the wish fulfilled, act as if, be that person right here, right now, and know that this is a done deal, because it's obviously why we're here. We have chosen to create this life with this person, with this relationship, in a feeling state of being safe and loved and cherished. And that all starts within, guys, right? So I hope this could help you in some way, shape, or form. I hope, of course, you derive something from this video. If you're still here, then you're obviously loving this content. I would love if you subscribe to my channel, also liked, and don't forget, the best comment today is going to win a free copy of my self-concept course. So again, make sure you comment, hit like, share, and subscribe, and we will see us in the next video. Bye for now.